Hey Pisces, hey, welcome to you and welcome to your reading. All right, so I have a stack of oracle cards here. We're gonna go ahead and pull a card which will set the theme for your reading. This reading applies for the next 2 weeks from whenever you're finding it. All right, now before we do, I did get, I've just been having the feeling and like what Spirit's been showing me as I was meditating on your energy before this reading. They're showing me the Eight of Wands tarot card in my mind's eye. And they're showing me like, I have a version of the Eight of Wands in one of my tarot decks that looks similar to what I'm being shown, but it's a little bit different. They're showing me like 8 birds, like the Eight of Wands, like 8 birds, like just flying towards the ground. Like almost in like when they head dive towards the ground and they tuck their wings in. That's what they've been showing me. So it feels like there's an energy right now, something that's fast and something that's quick. I don't know if it's incoming or outgoing. I don't know the direction of this. It just feels like something is fast and quick is like the energy that I'm picking up from Spirit. So I am curious to see how that relates to the rest of this reading, but that was kind of the buildup I had before. I also find it interesting because I felt like I had to film your reading right now, which you will probably notice I'm doing it during like rush hour traffic. And I live in a city, so it's like there's a lot of like noise pollution. It's like very loud normally. And so yeah, it just I'm like hearing the cars like kind of zooming by. So it's just kind of adding to this reading because it feels there's something like fast and quick happening within the energy, and I'm hoping we can find out more. So let's get going. Spirit, are we ready? Okay, so we have this card. Okay, it's rosemary. It says remembrance, loyalty, and faithfulness. Is this upright? Okay, it is upright. This is so interesting. I'm hearing shifting loyalties. So pulling off the shifting loyalties. So pulling off the loyalty bit of this card. I don't know, that doesn't feel bad or good. It actually feels really neutral. I just don't know the context around this quite yet. And we're gonna get into tarot in just a moment. I'm hearing shifting loyalties. I'm hearing the ground is shifting. Okay. So I don't know what that means. And I'm just taking notes so we can capture all this and hopefully bring it all together. But okay, do you have more to say on this, Spirit? Is that what you want me to say? Okay, I'm hearing they're telling me to tell you to remain stable. I don't know what that means. So I think it's in the face of this like shifting loyalties or the ground shifting. There's something around remaining stable is going to be important for you right now. And it's interesting because I don't even know how they're showing this to me. I really literally, I don't even think I could describe it, but it's almost like the border of this card right here. It's almost like if the picture were going to like transform or transition, it's like these borders would stay the same. So for whatever reason, they're telling me that's the energy we want to have you in, is for you to stay stable somehow. Is there more to this card? Okay, can we go into tarot? All right, so let's go into tarot. All right, so hi, welcome if this is your first time. So I do those oracle and those theme cards because it kind of sets the tone for the reading. This is a little bit of your vibe check here. So if that right now doesn't feel like it's resonating for you, then feel free to check out one of the other videos I have posted for one of your other signs. This feels a little bit, for someone coming into this reading, this has already started happening. So you're already aware of like, again, this, I'm just going to quote it, shifting loyalties or ground is shifting. There's some sort of like framework that's shifting here. Again, it's almost like they're showing me the image of like, you know, when you're on a carousel and the carousel like container, like the frame stays the same, but it's like the floor moves. The floor moves with the kind of like animals on the on the carousel. Yeah, that's kind of what it's like. It's like, again, with the same energy here, it's like spirit wants you in your like, you know, framing to stay stable, because it feels like the inner image or the inner whatever inner workings here actually shift. And there's like a turning. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune in my mind's eye. I don't know if that's upright or reverse. I feel like it's both, but it feels like something's shifting. Like the ground is shifting, quite literally. It feels a little bit like a carousel. That feels really specific to someone too. So I don't know if like you've been thinking of carousels or have gone to a carousel, or for whatever reason, if that's for you, that's for you. Something about a carousel, this is your reading. It feels like, again, for some of you, you're already coming in with this energy and you're like, yep, Chan, I know exactly what you're talking about. Or over the next 2 weeks, something like that shifts, like the ground shifts, and spirit wants you to remain stable throughout it. Do you want this card? Okay, so what's going well? Oh, Two of Swords, yeah. Okay, so for most of you, I think this is something you're not going to see coming. Again, it feels fast and it feels quick. That's so interesting. Is this upright? And I'm hearing in reverse. Okay, so it's both. I feel like part of it is that this reading is going to tip you off a little bit and cue you off a little bit, so that way you're able to kind of like stay a bit grounded in this energy. That's definitely part of it, but that's so interesting. Okay, Spirit is showing me again, like it's like this moon. They're showing me this circle shifting. It's so weird. It's like the outline stays the same, but like the moon like turns. This is so interesting. What is this? Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, that feels really clear. Okay. So, is there anything else with this card? Okay, we're going to keep going. Let's keep going. You want this deck? All right. The Lovers in reverse. Lovers in reverse. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this gets juicy. This gets a little interesting here. Do you want me to keep pulling? All right. Top card. 9 of Cups. Is this upright? It's also in reverse. Okay, so it's upright in reverse. Okay, so we got a lot of messages coming through. Just give me a moment here. I gotta grab all the cards. Do you want this bottom card? Okay, they want me to shuffle again. Hold on. I mean, for someone, this is definitely around a connection, but I actually don't feel like that's most of your situations. The Lovers doesn't have to speak to like romantic relationships. It doesn't have to. So this could be a connection of any type, literally any type. This can also speak to like you being connected with another like event. Again, it doesn't even have to be a person at all. This could be an event. For someone, this is coming through as work related. So that's definitely like very present here. So I'm definitely feeling that something's shifting within this connection or this situation or this setup you have going. Okay. All right, let's get another card. Hold on, let's get another card. I got to build this out a little more. The moon in reverse. Is that it? One more. All right, one more time. Hold on. It's coming in bits. Yeah, this is definitely something I don't think for some of you we're going to see coming. This feels, again, it feels fast and quick and unexpected and just like something that was in the shadows that suddenly comes to light. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is definitely confirming. I was talking about for the Pentacles coming out here is definitely speaking about work for someone. So it definitely feels like 10 of Pentacles in reverse is like the stability that you're finding at work or finding within, especially if you particularly have a career. This also can speak to work on many different levels. It doesn't have to be career related, but for someone, it definitely feels like it is. I think, this feels, if this is work related, it honestly, it doesn't feel good. I'm hearing the word unsavory. So, okay. Okay, so this is just such interesting energy. Like, I feel like, okay, there's like a mix of messages here just for different situations. So I'm going to do my best to kind of like generalize this as much as possible and kind of deliver what I can here. Pisces, but I feel like, okay, first of all, this is confirming this is your reading with the moon, because the moon tarot card relates directly into you, Pisces, so that's part of this. The moon is also coming in with the same energy as the Two of Swords. Both of these are upright as well as reverse. I feel like I said, I feel like something is coming to light. There's something that's coming out of, essentially out of the shadow, because you see there's the moon on both of these. The moon speaks to like what's in the dark, what's in the shadow space, something you didn't necessarily see coming. For some of you, this feels like a shift in a connection you have. For some of you, yes, it is romantic. I just feel like there's some sort of like, is it communication? There's something shifting here. I'm really struck by the fact that there's this circle and there's like all of these like kind of lines coming off. And for whatever reason, again, Spirit is showing me the image of this like shifting, like it's turning, like almost like, again, a carousel. It's like turning. Do you see how it almost is giving the vibes of a carousel? It's so interesting. So like, that's what's coming through really strongly here. And I think, I feel like this is something that's going to catch you kind of off guard. I feel like this reading is going to help, but I feel like it's going to catch you a little off guard. I think it's something that needs to be potentially like communicated about or talked about, or just you need to feel your way through. Again, you're very feeling as a water sign, Pisces, but I definitely feel like it's part of it. I feel like this is interesting because for some of you, it actually feels like it could be a good shift potentially with the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, because these are some of the best cards in the deck. This does feel like potentially this could be something really, really lovely for some of you. For others of you, I just don't think it's going to be what you expected. I think it's going to like shift something emotionally for you, where you're going to be like, well, why didn't you communicate that? Why didn't I know about this sooner? Like, we could have made some changes to try to get to our Ten of Pentacles, because the Ten of Pentacles represents like, it's kind of encapsulates the idea of like a happy home, or just, again, wish fulfillment in a way. Again, the Nine of Cups also comes through with wish fulfillment. This speaks directly to wish fulfillment. So I feel like it's almost something that catches you off guard, that you're like, well, I don't know, can we like pivot through this, you know, can we like turn, and as the carousel's moving here, is this something we can shift through? So I do think, I really feel like it depends on the situation here. I don't see all these situations as being bad. I just feel like it's unexpected. I feel like no matter what, you know, again, I feel like the energy here is very neutral, just given whoever's watching this and the types of situations that could play out of this. But I feel like the point of this reading is around you, again, remaining stable, having a secure like frame or structure as things shift, because something is shifting. I'm struck by the fact these both have the same like markings. You see the same like lines and the same circle, and again, it's giving a carousel vibe. It's like the carousel is starting up and you're just like, we're going up and down, and we're like, where's this gonna kind of land a little bit? It's also giving, what is that? what is the name of that childhood game? Not quite like Duck, Duck, Goose or whatever, but maybe, or something where you remember where you have like all the chairs laid out or set out and like you just go to the music and then when the music stops, you all have to find a chair. I can't remember the name of that. Someone knows the name of this. I don't remember the name of that game, but it's almost like that. Like I'm getting that image too. So I feel like that's also for someone, but I'm getting that as well. It's like, there's something very like, I don't know why we're coming with like there's definitely some like youthful energy here, which is interesting, but it feels like something like catches you a little off guard here. And it's interesting because this crowd. Okay, why did I say that, Spirit? Hold on. This crown is coming through as almost like if you were like in battle a little bit. I don't know. It's almost like the king is going to war or something, and it's coming on like as being guarded or being on guard rather, which is interesting. We had crowd here. Something's feeling, yes, I see that, Spirit, overcrowded. Ooh, that something feels really interesting about that. Okay, something feels overcrowded, or I feel like maybe this person comes to you and is essentially coming to you with this, some sort of like communication around like overcrowding. It feels like overcrowded. What the heck is this? What is overcrowded and why? Yeah, some of these messages are coming out like okay and in a kind of beneficial way. I feel like for some of you, especially because when I'm recording this, it is mid-December and we're moving into the end of the year, which there's a lot of like holiday celebrations and family around. For some of you, I think it feels like really, really good in some ways, but I do feel like there's still this element of like overcrowding. And I don't know if someone comes to you and is just like, I'm overwhelmed, I can't really deal with this feels like too much. You know, and there's kind of this like disconnect, like the Lovers in reverse is part of it. If this is a work situation, again, there can be this feeling potentially of overwhelm. So that could definitely be here in this energy, which I'm seeing as well. But it just feels a bit like emotionally up and down, kind of like the carousel. Yeah, with that Nine of Cups. It's feeling like emotionally up and down, which is making you feel like less than stable. 10 of Cups in reverse. Of like, well, I don't know, depending on where we land with this emotional set, if we're going to be stable. And that applies to any situation you're in. Yeah, it feels, this definitely feels like that. It's like kind of destabilizing. But again, Spirit is definitely trying to like point you in the direction of how to stabilize through this. So give me a second here. Let me see, which deck? You want this one? Wow, there's so much coming through with this. Yeah, again, this energy is coming out neutral, but it feels like there's definitely some shifting. Okay. You ready? Ace of Cups. Is this upright? Yeah, okay, so I feel like someone's sharing some feelings with you, Ace of Cups, some new feelings with you that you're like, I didn't expect that. These could be, again, good. These could be bad. It just depends on your situation here, but it feels like you're just like, well, I didn't see that coming. Wow. I mean, it's interesting because again, I just feel like whatever this was hasn't been previously communicated because the swords speak to communication. So this hasn't been spoken about before, which is why I feel like it catches you off guard. And why you're like, why does it feel like the ground is shifting around me? I have no idea what's happening. You want this card? Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay, for someone, this is definitely like the energy. Five of Pentacles. You're like, am I going to be out of a home? Am I going to be out of work? Am I going to be out of a job? Am I going to be out of steady employment. I keep hearing that bit because the Five of Pentacles speaks to being out in the cold. You can see these two crows like out in the pouring rain while there's this warm building in the background there. So there's definitely that. But I also feel like there's an energy here, no matter what, of like being out of the loop of like how someone feels. Whether it's yourself or someone else, please know the Lovers also can speak to aspects of yourself. This doesn't have to be outside of you at all. Okay, so it could be something where you have like some feelings and emotions that come up that you're like, I didn't see that coming. This could also be some memories that come up as well, especially if this is around potentially, I'm seeing the rosemary here, but it's kind of keying off the kind of evergreen of like the season. And so this could be like memories that come up that, you know, were long buried in the past. This is actually reminding me a bit of the Libra reading I just did. The Libra reading seems to be, yeah, kind of a big one for this round so far. It's reminding me of that one a little bit, for sure. So if you have any Libra placements or you feel called to check that out, definitely feel free to check out that video. Or if Libra has been on your mind recently quite a bit, then that may be one you want to look at. That's for someone. Okay, but yeah, no matter what, it feels like these emotions or feelings come up and you're just like, I had no idea that was even here. Like, I feel so out of the loop. I'm like, whatever this was. And or again, it just like kind of comes at you and catches you off guard, kind of like these two crows kind of like flying towards you and you're like, what? Do you want this deck? Okay, let's switch decks. This one. This is such an interesting reading. I mean, this was definitely in the dark, and I do feel like because the moon energy here is really strong. I mean, it is, yes, you're reading, but it also feels like very emotional. There's something really emotional about this. And again, with the Ace of Cups coming out too, it's like new feelings. You're like, I did not know. Ready? For this card's upright or reverse? Okay, it's both. Okay, so here's the card. It says fruit, achievement, success. Okay, so like I said, this is really a coin toss depending on what your situation is. Whatever it is, whatever's coming up, it could either lead to, I feel like, a further deepening of this like connection or this situation or this connection within yourself, or it feels like something that is again kind of happy and feels like fulfilled and aligned. So that could be part of it. I also feel like there's an element still of like overwhelm here. So again, it may just catch you off guard and may leave you in a feeling of like, well, I'm really happy this happened, but again, I wasn't expecting this, so now I have to like make some really big shifts in some ways to accommodate this, or to like, accommodate's not quite the word, although that is for someone, but it feels like to incorporate this, okay? There's like an integration that would be needed here. Okay, give me a second here. There's another part to this that needs to come through. Take a drink out of my fancy Christmas cup. Got all the Christmas stuff. See the little like evergreen here? Yes. Okay, so I feel like, was that it on the, okay, so yeah, in reverse, I feel like this is coming out, like I said, I don't think this necessarily maybe what you were expecting or what you wanted with the 10 of, so these two are coming in linked then is another way. These are either coming in upright or reverse. Again, this is coming out as, I can't even narrow in on it because I feel like the situation is just so thoroughly going to catch you off guard. For someone, this comes in at New Year's, on New Year's. Okay. But it's just this, it's this energy here of like, oh, this isn't working out, or this isn't, again, it's a sense of overwhelm. There's an emotional overwhelm here. Okay, Spirit, this feels like this was a toy. Interesting. A toy. Okay, I feel like we're gonna take that into the extended. Yeah, okay. All right. It feels like it was a coin toss. This reading has felt like a coin toss depending on where you're going to land. But I think Spirit wants you to know that there is a conversation coming, and one that you're not expecting with this Two of Swords. There's a communication of some sort. It doesn't have to be conversation. It's a communication. This could be happening in, and like I said, any domain of your life here. But it feels like, or internally to you, but it feels like it catches you a bit off guard. And I think really like brings you into your feelings quite a bit. I want to see, Spirit, what is the like recommendation for Pisces? We talked about like remaining stable. What does that even mean? This deck? Okay. All right, let's get some advice for you here. What's the advice? Yeah, there's almost like, there's this feeling of like almost being dizzy here. Like you would on the carousel. Like you could, well, I have motion sickness, so I'd be dizzy, but I don't know, everybody else would be, but anyway, it's still that feeling of like when you're told something and you're just suddenly like everything shifts and you get a little dizzy. Like that's kind of the feeling here. You're just like, oh, wow, that was kind of big. Like that was, I didn't see that coming. Let me cut this. Okay, hold on. Let me cut this. Yeah, it's a little dizzying. Okay. What's the advice, Spirit? Is it this card? Ooh. The Sun. One more. This one. King of Pentacles. Yeah, totally. Stay grounded, ground yourself. Okay, so I feel like, anything else? Okay, and the last one was Three of Wands. Yeah. I feel like, okay, so there's a message here with the Sun of like rooting into, and the King of Pentacles of like, rooting into a deeper part of yourself. But even more than that, it's coming through as like not placing your happiness in someone else's hands. Okay, you see how this person's like tipping off with their hat here? It's kind of like, okay, you know, for someone this is just like, okay, I understand and I'm going to be okay. But I do feel like this is around you, oh, I can see it, Spirit. This situation is meant to show you where you are currently like placing your happiness, Ten of Pentacles, where you're currently placing your emotional energy. Okay. And this can also speak to like your financial energy too. Okay. It can speak to your material energy or spiritual energy. Both of these speak to that. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So I feel like this situation is kind of showing you where you are, and Spirit wants you to like anchor yourself in a deeper part with the levers upright as well as in reverse. It's like showing you where you're misaligned and where you want to align further, so that way it doesn't feel like this merry-go-round of a situation. Now, some of this, again, it doesn't feel like this is not in your control. So let's be very clear, like this isn't in your control, but I think the situation comes up to show you other ways to stabilize. I think the other recommendation here with this card is Spirit wants you to have the resources, the material resources available and ready for yourself. So as things shift, when they shift and it comes up for you, you have something to lean on, is what I'm hearing. Because the King of Pentacles, the Kings speak to the external realm and the Pentacles are very grounded. So it just feels like if that means like, again, reaching out to your community or having community support, if that means having a healer, somatic therapist available, if that means like having your financial ducks in a row per se, or having other things that will make you feel grounded right now or help you to come back into your body and sense of self, because this can come through, the Sun can come through as sense of self. It's like you're shining pure essence and light and your soul. And my timer's going off right at this. So that's exactly it. I think Spirit wants you to remember like who you are deep down, no matter how this shifts. Like I said, this can also be good. It doesn't have to be bad. Like I said, it feels equally, it could go either way. There is no indication here. I think it's just going to be dependent on your situation. But I do think with this Three of Wands here, it's really interesting. Spirit wants you to walk the path that feels best for you, whatever the situation ends up being. For some, if that looks like moving away from this situation, or if it looks like, you know, incorporating and integrating it more into sort of your experience, I feel like no matter what, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think, again, there's nothing about this energy that feels bad. It feels neutral. It honestly just feels really neutral from Spirit's lens. But like I said, this is coming in new. So I think that's the advice for you. I think this, like I said, this feels like a bit of a heads up of a reading. It also feels like ways for you to kind of, you know, stabilize and ground yourself over the next couple weeks, as it feels like, again, emotions and situations will be shifting and there are going to be some changes. All right, so we are going into an extended, yes. So I will have the information in the description box below for the extended if you'd like to check that out. I also have information on on personal readings right now. So if you'd like to check that out and you want additional support for this situation, I'd be happy to help. So feel free to check out my website. Yeah, if this resonated for you, I would love if you'd like, share this video, subscribe if you're feeling called to do that. Totally up to you. But yeah, this has been a really interesting reading, Pisces, and I hope there was something helpful here for you. Yeah, we're gonna go right on into the extended here, but I really want to thank Spirit for this message. Thank you. And I really want to thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure getting to channel this for you. And like I said, I hope you find something beneficial out of this message. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I will see you at our next reading. All right. Thanks, Pisces. Bye for now.